Hey, welcome back. In this video, I want to make a new blueprint and a new route and wire things up so you can kind of see how that works. So let's say we're adding a blueprint related to employee information. So we want to, maybe have some employee dashboards or, stuff like that. So in DataGrip, I've constructed a simple query to get some information about all of the employees. So you can see the data's down here. So everything's looking good from that perspective. So I know that the query is essentially formatted correctly and will produce results. So that's important before we go and create the complexity of, adding in Flask. So I'm going to go to Visual Studio Code, and I want to create a new blueprint. So remember that customers is a blueprint, products is a blueprint. This is all collectively in the back end. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to name it employees. Okay. And inside that folder, I'm going to create a file named, we'll say employee routes, just to be consistent, .py. Okay, now you'll notice this file is very empty. So I'm going to base it on the customer's route file. So just so I can put them side by side, I'm going to do a little copy and pasting. So first thing I'm going to need is all of the, let's see, I'll copy the header. And so this will be sample employees, blueprints. And then I'm going to copy and paste the headers that I need. I'm sorry, the imports, not headers. What am I thinking? So we're going to do that. And then we need to create our blueprint object. So we'll call this one employees, since, to model it after customers. So employees equals blueprint. We'll call it employees, PLOYEs. Under name. And so there we have our blueprint object. Now we can start adding routes to it. So here we're going to do @ employees. So remember that this value right here and the name of the blueprint is what you're adding the route to. So employees.route, and then I'll add, let's say, /employees, just to get all of the employees. Okay. Methods equals get. The reason this is as an array is because you can actually handle multiple verbs in one function. You can check out the documentation, the Flask documentation, if you want to see how to do that. Okay, so then let's say we're going to define a Python function. Doesn't matter what you name it. I'm just going to call it get all employees. It doesn't take any parameters or anything. So let's see. I'm going to model it after this get customers right here. So we're going to create a cursor. Now you can add in the logging stuff if you would like. I'm going to leave it out just for brevity. So cursor db.getDB.cursor. Then I'm going to create the string that's going to have the query that I want to execute. So I'll just call it the query equals, oops, wrong mark. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to go grab the query from DataGrip. So let's see. So grab that back to VS Code, paste it in, clean things up a little bit. Okay, so now we have the query. So now I want to execute the query. So I'll do cursor.execute the query. All right. Then we can get all of the data back. So I've got a lot of spaces here. So we'll say the data, or return data, or whatever you'd like to call it. We're going to fetch it from the cursor. Cursor.fetchAll. Okay. Then we are going to create the response object. So the response. Now I know I'm mixing camel case and snake case, which is probably not the best example, but just to be consistent with the other examples. So the response equals make response, okay, which you can see is imported here from the data. We're going to set the response code. Sorry, status underscore code equals 200. We're going to set the MIME type. And then we're going to return the response. Okay, so now we have the blueprint. We have a route in the blueprint, but the application doesn't yet know about this particular blueprint or the routes inside of it. So we need to, I'm going to sort of recompress these into one tab or one window. We're going to go to the REST entry. And this is where we register our blueprint. So I need to import the employee's object or the employee's blueprint first. So from backend.employees.employee routes import employees. Okay. So now we have that. So I'm going to come down to where I'm registering the blueprints. So right here. So I'll do app.register blueprint employees. And then I'll give it a prefix of, let's see, I want things to line up. URL equals E. Okay? And then I'm going to return the application. I'm going to save that. And let's see what happens. So I'm going to go back to Chrome. And I'm going to go to /e/employees. And here we have all of the employees. So looks like that route is working. Oops, I need to be in VS Code. So there you have it. A new blueprint, a new route, wiring the new blueprint up to the application object, the Flask application object. And then we are good to go. All right, see you in the next video.